Focus.
The Saturday is a football focus.
That Saturday lunchtime feeling.
The buzz.
The crackle.
The tingle.
For 52 years, we've tried so hard to bring that feeling into focus.
We're off then, are we?
You're off.
Okay.
We opened the window on a technicolor world.
We went into dressing rooms and boardrooms. We stood on touchlines and terraces.
There were score lines, hotlines.
Who's that on line one?
Stephen Price.
Tell me which goal you'd like to see.
Headlines.
Punchlines.
Come on, you know the script. I'll say something, you cheer.
Hard questions,
Why is it you are so unpopular within the game?
compelling answers.
Rain and shine, desert and blizzards.
We looked into the eyes of legends.
And heard the voices of local heroes.
We asked, but most importantly, we listened.
Please, don't ignore this. We need to stop the war.
We saw new dawns rise and eras end.
You're right there.
There was sadness, desolate days when football was trivial.
And yet somehow vital.
Days where we really needed to be together.
For whatever our loyalties or rivalries.
Or differences in opinion.
We found something in common. Heart, soul,
Goals. Players changed,
Managers changed.
Presenters changed.
fashions changed.
but the routine remained.
Saturdays have always been special.
Thank you all for sharing yours with us.
Thank you to my fellow presenters for their help with our beautiful opening. Well, here we go. The last time we will say this. Hello and welcome to Football Focus. We are bringing the curtain down today on the longest running football magazine show in the world, nearly 2,000 shows. We've got plenty of nostalgia on the way, so don't worry about that. And with me today is a veteran of Football Focus for more years than he cares to remember. It's a big welcome back to BBC legend Garth Crooks. Garth has done it all, scoring goals and winning trophies for Tottenham. He's been chairman of the PFA, BBC Sport reporter, interviewer and pundit. And Garth, we have saved the best till last. Top of the Pops presenter. We are not calling it a comeback, we are calling it a return. Garth, welcome. You've been part of this Football Focus family. How does it feel?
Well, it feels great to be invited back. Very grateful, feel very honoured. And great to be here.
Lots of emotions on the way.
Well, it is when you see the first sort of VT, you see the clip of Bob Wilson, who was the first presenter I saw when I first watched Football Focus. Very professional. Ray Stubbs, great working with Ray. Always made his guests feel very comfortable. I would work with Mark Lawrence, and it was a very generous co-presenter, co-commentator. And of course, then you get Manish, who we saw, who held the fort for a long time. Dan Walker. I love Dan because I thought when he took Focus on the street to the people and the FA Cup, I thought he was brilliant. I loved watching him. And I think it gave Focus a new dimension. And of course, then we get a young upstart who comes and takes over for 7 years. I thought she'd last only 7 weeks, but there you are.
So I've done you proud, Garth, yeah?
I think you've done magnificently.
Amazing. We've got plenty of coming up on the show, so let's have a look what we have for you. The relegation battle all comes down to this. Will it be Tottenham or West Ham who survive? We pay tribute to Pep Guardiola and the side that beat him to the title, the champions, Arsenal. Andy Robertson talks leaving Liverpool with Kenny Dalglish. We look at England's World Cup squad, Hull City's promotion, and you pick your favourite Focus memory. And here are the contenders that we asked you to vote for on the BBC Sport website. Will it be Brian Clough's rant at Motti? Gaza going fishing with Bob Wilson? Our mid-90s April Fool spoof about bigger goals? Alistair McGowan impersonating Gary and Loro? The mannequin challenge from 10 years ago? Noel Gallagher meeting Mario Balotelli? Or the strikers' union of Alan Shearer and Erling Haaland? Look, we hope you're enjoying our retro graphics that we've got on show for you today. Just the one slate of fixtures left in this season's Premier League, and all 10 kick off at 4 o'clock. The standout ones, of course, are at the bottom. Tottenham hosting Everton and West Ham at home to Leeds, but the race for European qualification is very much on too. Liverpool are aiming to join Arsenal, Manchester City, Man United and Aston Villa in the Champions League. There's also the possibility that there could be 6 teams playing in that competition next season. But for that to happen, Europa League winners Villa would have to slip to 5th. Bournemouth are already guaranteed European competition of some sort. Below them, it's 4 teams fighting for 2 spots. Brighton and Chelsea are in possession, with Brentford and Sunderland also in with a shout. Things are much simpler at the bottom, though, where Tottenham's vastly superior goal difference effectively means West Ham's only chance of survival is if they win and Spurs lose. What we do know is that one big London club has got to go.
Must win for West Ham to be sure of taking their survival fight to the final day. Barnes' options. Voltemon are one of them! A dagger to the heart of the Hammers. Here's Osula. Newcastle are rampant and West Ham are in massive trouble. Willock's cross, surely it's in. Osula's there again. Game over for West Ham today. Come for Castellanos. Oh, that is magnificent! It's the final nail in the Irons coffin. If Spurs get anything at all in their final 2 games, then West Ham will be relegated.
We didn't perform well. We have to bounce back. Try to make them proud of us. There's no other way. Maximum confidence, maximum belief.
It's just basic mistakes.
When we think about the pressure down there at the bottom,
I think the pressure's more on Tottenham because it's in your own hands.
The penultimate chapter in what's been a saga of a season. We don't yet know how this one ends for Spurs. There's Enzo Fernandez. Oh, it's a cracker. Comes to Andre Santos. Spurs in trouble. Porro, Sarr, Richarlison, one back. Spurs need something against Everton on Sunday, or they need West Ham to fail to beat Leeds. It's still in their hands, but they could have got it done tonight.
There is not a trophy, there is not a bonus, there is something more important than trophy and the bonus. There is the future of the club, there is the history of the club.
Oh, fighting talk right there from De Zerbi. Let's get straight over to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium right now, where Match of the Day commentator Jonathan Pearce is with former Spurs keeper Paul Robinson.
Well, firstly, it's a delight to be involved in the last ever Football Focus, a programme that means a lot to me, really to the heart, and it's a joy to be working with Paul again, as we did on Tuesday at Stamford Bridge. Did you see enough there from Tottenham's performance to suggest they can do it and stay up?
I expected more from them, in all honesty. I think you see the way that they've turned the system around under De Zerbi. Against Villa, against Wolves, they pressed higher. They looked a lot better side, and I thoroughly expected them to go to Stamford Bridge and get some kind of a result. But they sat off. They were submissive at times, and it wasn't a performance of a team that were looking for survival. And they could have done it that night. You expect more from them today. But pressure does strange things to people, as you know. I've been in this situation twice. I've been relegated from the Premier League twice. And when you come down to the last day, the last 2 or 3 games, there's nothing goes to form. Everything goes out the window. And this for Tottenham today and West Ham, it's a huge day.
Team that went down last for Spurs in '77 had Hoddle in it, had Perryman in it, had Jennings in it. This team doesn't even bear comparison with that.
But you look at the squad though, and you say that they shouldn't be where they are. You know, attitude, application, minimum requirement, maximum effort. You know, you can use all the old paraphrases. The quality that they've got in that squad. I mean, 6 months ago, the right backs wanted by Barcelona. The 2 central defenders are touted by Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid. And, you know, heads have been turned. And actually, when you look at the individual qualities of the players, they shouldn't be in the situation that they are now. And, you know, there's a lot to be said for, yes, the manager, the recruitment, etc. But the players have got a lot of personal pride and professional pride at stake. And that hasn't been the case this season.
And David Moyes has pride as well, and he's made it very public. He doesn't want to send his old team West Ham down.
Well, you called it, didn't you, when we did the Chelsea Tottenham game in the week, and you said about David Moyes before anybody else had asked him the question. You said that he's got West Ham close to his heart, and it's a team that he's very fond of, and they will come here. Listen, you know David Moyes, he's football through and through, and his team will not come here and lie down. They will come here and they will be trying to get the 3 points for him.
Biggest game in Tottenham's history, this?
Definitely in my lifetime. I mean, I don't look back before then, obviously, because I'm not qualified to comment on that. But actually, in my lifetime, Tottenham have never been relegated. One of the 6 founder members of the Premier League to still be there and to never fall out of the Premier League. This would be the biggest story in football, relegation terms, if Tottenham were to go down.
One big London team's going to go. Which one will it be?
West Ham.
There's a man.
Do you want any more?
There's a man with Tottenham in his heart. And as I said right at the top, Football Focus is in my heart. I've got great memories of the planning meetings on a Tuesday. Motson would be there, Gubba would be there, Lineker would be there, and we plan weeks ahead. Very special days they were. And in terms of being part of the programme, I remember being at the Arsenal, just like we are today. And as I said, my first words, they turned the sprinklers on, and I was drenched for the whole interview. My best moment on Football Focus is standing next to Paul Robinson here today. What a creep.
JP, you absolute legend. Oh, God, I've got to come straight to you because what? Spurs were relegated in 1977. That was 3 years before you signed. So how has it come to this right now?
Well, let's pick up where Paul and Jonathan left off. Paul was talking about the importance of performance. Any performance, long as it produces a result, keep Spurs in the Premier League. For me, and I've played in games where relegation's been at stake, it's about courage. The game at this level now is played in the head. These players, I saw them play at Chelsea, and Paul was right. You saw the confidence ebb away, evaporate. It can't happen today. I believe one of the big telling points today is the Tottenham fans. I think it's going to be the Tottenham fans that get these lads over the line. If these fans today, who are magnificent, they have got to make these 90 minutes very uncomfortable for Everton and make those 11 Tottenham players feel like they're heroes. They're the only important thing on the field. And fans can carry players like this. I remember being at Goodison when Everton needed to stay up, and I think they stayed up, on goal difference in the end. Howard Kendall, I think it was his last game before he resigned. Those Everton fans were magnificent. Fans played an important part, and I think that today the Spurs fans have really got to help these lads get over the line. They'll feel it. If the fans get hold of that atmosphere, they'll feel it, but it's got to go right through the 90 minutes.
I was going to say, so you're saying the importance of the fans then, and that rubbing off on players. So when you look into that team and that squad, who are those leaders then that are saying, come on, you're talking about that courage? Who is going to be looking around that dressing room and saying, come on, lads?
Van der Ven, I think, is a very important person for Spurs today. And in a strange sort of way, Richarlison, who I think can be very annoying, but he has this attitude that can either be fantastic or a disaster. Let's hope it works for him today. The big difference, I think Spurs getting Maddison back is crucial at this stage. I hope he plays today, because I think he'll be a steadying force and he can actually provide pull all those levers that we need to have pulled to get us over the line.
Comparing the two teams then, because it doesn't matter, you're both in this situation, Spurs and West Ham, one-off game, fighting for survival. So actually past form goes out the window right now. So when you look at both teams, who do you think, in terms of, I'm actually saying it, the word team, can pull through this?
Well, look, the future of Tottenham is in the players' hands. If they do their job, they stay up. A point does it. If they can't get a point at home against Everton when they're fighting for relegation, then they deserve to go down. West Ham are looking for favours. It's our job not to give them any. It's as simple as that. Spurs do the job today. The fans pull them through it. They'll get over the line. If they don't, then it's not going to be a bright future.
Got a quick one from you. Do you believe you're going to stay up then? Are you worried?
I think it'll be a nervous draw, but I think we'll do it, yeah.
He thinks we'll do it well. Don't forget that you can stay across all of the action today on Final Score with Jason Mohammed from 3:35 on iPlayer and from 5:15 on BBC One. And then you can watch all of the highlights, of course, on Match of the Day with Kelly Cates, Alan Shearer and Wayne Rooney from 10:30. That is also on BBC One. Well, what a rollercoaster of a week it's been for Manchester City, from the glory of Wembley to conceding the title to confirmation of Pep Guardiola's departure. But what a legacy he leaves.
People are going to judge my period here. I'm pretty sure it depends on how many titles you win.
100 points for record-breaking Manchester City.
From the day one, I felt comfortable.
A treble of trophies that's never been won before.
I love this game. It's so excessive, it's so demanding, it's so stressful in a good way. People believe, okay, I know everything, or the managers know the secrets, but it's not the case.
This is truly Manchester City's time.
What I'm proud the most is this consistency. When you won the last season, it's more complicated to win again, to make back-to-back. That is, I think, the most difficult thing.
It is 4 in a row. Manchester City have won the FA Cup.
I will be Mancunian for the rest of my life. Really satisfied, happy and proud, and have been the experience, I would say, maybe of my life. Otherwise it wouldn't have been 10 years, so I cannot be more grateful for the amount of love and affection that I had known not today, these days, for many, many years, and nothing else. 10 years is a lot of time, and I think the club needs, new manager, new energy, with these incredible players that we have right now, and start to write another chapter.
Oh, well, Guy Mowbray is at the Etihad for Pep's last game this afternoon. Guy, it's bound to be a whole lot of love for Pep there today.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, there absolutely is. And after a decade of Manchester drizzle, he's going to leave to Barcelona's sunshine. It's absolutely glorious here today. The focus is entirely on Pep and on Bernardo Silva and John Stones, who are also going to be heading for pastures new. I've got Michael Brown, ex-City midfielder, with me today. Michael, it's going to be emotional. We've heard Pep Guardiola himself, the cool cat himself, getting very emotional this week. Follow that, as they say.
It's so difficult, isn't it? Because somebody of Pep Guardiola's stature himself as well doesn't really want all the fuss. He doesn't want all the drama around it, but we've got to show respect. We've got to show how much he's brought to this football club. So there's going to be a little bit of emotion. It's going to be a great send-off, not only today at the game, but tomorrow at the Corp Live. A wonderful event ahead for him. And it'll be a massive tribute. Former players coming back as well. It'll be really nice that I've played under Pep. But what a legacy. What a coach we've witnessed. He's changed the whole game for everybody, the different styles, the techniques. We used to listen to the analysts say, do you know what, he always knows what's coming next. Everybody's followed, everybody's tried to do what Pep's brought, and he's evolved, he's moved on with the times and changed his tactics even in the Premier League, so he's going to be a big, big miss.
Yeah, and you say he doesn't want the fuss, but There's a great big expansion of the North Stand just over there, and it's going to be called the Pep Guardiola Stand. I mean, there's statues all over this place to the great and the good. You don't get much better than that honour, do you?
Well, it's amazing. We were stood in front of the legend Colin Bell's stand as well, so to have that named, he was quite emotional about it, but I think it just creates something, doesn't it? The memory, as good as it possibly can. We see statues, we see many other things around the stadium of legends of Manchester City, but I don't think you can ever do anything to give Pep anything back. But that is a really nice touch from the club.
Yeah, Dalglish, Ferguson, Revie, all with stands named after them. That is a pantheon of greats, which takes us to what happens next. Not for Pep, we don't know, but what happens next here? Who succeeds him? We think it's going to be Enzo Maresca. That's what everybody's talking about, and what a job he's got in store.
Well, how do you follow? I mean, it's almost, do you want to do it? But you know you might never succeed or probably never ever get near what Pep's done, but how can you turn the opportunity down? Enzo Maresca obviously is the main target. That's something that's been out there for some time. They've managed to dampen it down. We will see shortly if that's going to be the case. But he knows the football club. He knows the people. He knows how it's run. He knows what's expected. And he's very adaptable how he coaches. So if it's going to be him, it's going to be tough for him, we know. But you know, we welcome the challenge and everybody will be behind him.
Thanks, Michael. City against Villa today for Pep Guardiola's farewell. Adios to the boss, as it were. And adios to Football Focus as well. You know, I've been watching the programme my entire life. I've been really fortunate enough to be part of it for nearly half my life, usually standing on touchlines in the freezing cold at times. I think my own special memory of the last few years would be 4.5 years ago, maybe 5.5 years ago, time flies, out on the touchline at the Hawthorns, West Bromwich Albion, the highest ground in England, just channeling my own inner Motti. But for Football Focus, 100% worth the frostbite and all the damage it's caused since.
Guy, look, you're going out in a blaze of sunshine today. Every time everyone's now talking about Football Focus memories, I get thrown, Garth. That's why we've got you to keep me on track.
Absolutely.
Greatest manager of the Premier League era, if we're talking about
Wow, that's a very, very big table for me. He's certainly up there. I remember interviewing Pep for Football Focus in Barcelona. He was about to win the treble. And I asked him about the treble and not the game. And he stopped. He didn't realise he was going for the treble. That's how intense he is. It's extraordinary. Great man, great coach. What I love about him as a coach is every player he brings into his club, he seems to improve. We all watch and we see them all improve. I love the way he carries himself as a manager and a representative of his club. He's the leader, and his behaviour, and his conduct goes right away through the club. And you see it, and it's had a big effect on the club. He'll be greatly missed. As for the greats, he must rank amongst the top 3 or 4, no question. Ferguson, Ancelotti, Guardiola. I think PSG fans might also want to put Luis Enrique in there as well.
Where do they go next then, Garth? Because it's always hard to follow, isn't it? It was hard for Manchester United. Arsenal also struggled when Arsene Wenger departed.
Football fans want more. The more you give them, the more they want, the more success they want. Manchester City fans would do well to allow the new boss a time to settle in. They do well to give him all the encouragement he can. If he doesn't win the title or he doesn't win anything next season, it's not a big deal. As long as they see the team still progressing and going in the right direction, cut him a bit of slack, give him time, I'm sure he'll be fine. Pep Guardiola is a massive act to follow.
He sure is. Well, I think many had expected a final day title shootout between Arsenal and Manchester City, but that all changed earlier this week.
The finishing line is in sight. Trossard might have a go here. Hits the post. Saka with the corner. 1-0 to Arsenal. Havertz has been brilliant so far, scores, and they have the breakthrough. It's a poor challenge. Is it a red card challenge? You've seen far worse this season. And the referee blows. Will they have one hand on the trophy now, surely?
I'm very happy tonight. We've done our job, what is in our hands, and we have to wait and see what happens.
City need to win or Arsenal are champions. It's a really good ball for Krupi. Curling brilliantly! A goal celebrated
on the south coast and in North London. Brooks here. Oh, he's hit the post. It's almost out of reach now. And it's off the post. And in from Haaland. Arsenal are the champions of England. Mikel Arteta and Arsenal have won the Premier League in 2026.
It's not sunk in yet, but it feels real now, like just knowing that we've done it.
We were hugging each other. You could feel like, yeah, we've done it. We won the Prem. Yeah, that's a feeling you cannot really describe.
It's not a blur, but it's like, wow, we really did it. We really got over the line.
It's been such a long process to get here, and to now do it is so special.
It really showed me, man. This means the world to some people. Like the joy that we brought.
Just how we can affect people's lives, like, just by making people happy. Like, it's just crazy.
I'm a Prem champ, baby.
Finally get that trophy in our hands. I cannot believe it. Honestly, I'm lost for words.
So no tension for Arsenal away at Crystal Palace today, just celebrations as they're going to be receiving the Premier League trophy straight after the game. Steve Wilson is at Selhurst Park for Match of the Day.
Well, good afternoon, Alex, from sunny Selhurst, where the Premier League trophy will be lifted by Arsenal after today's game. And I have alongside me one of the Arsenal Invincibles and, of course, an old friend of Football Focus, who you know well, Martin Keown. Martin, as an Arsenal Premier League title winner, as an Invincible and as an Arsenal fan, what does it mean to you, to Arsenal to have done this?
Do you know, I so wanted this group to feel that joy and elation of what we achieved as players. I didn't think it was ever going to come, but I never realised the joy that I would then get myself. I was far more emotional for this victory, for this group, than I was for my own, because you're right in the middle of it. Great day today, so many players. You know, Declan Rice, £100 million, and no one ever mentioned that fee ever again, was a key signing. Saka coming through the ranks, the academy, I understand all of that. So it's been special to experience it one last time here. We're going to be at the game. I couldn't miss this as much as I wanted to be both in the studio, Alex, with you. I wanted to see this being picked up first time in 22 years.
And of course, next weekend it's Budapest in the Champions League final. What chance do you give them against the European champions, PSG?
Oh, come on, we can do anything now, this group. I think it gives you that extra armoury when you're champions, you know, that you can put your chest out, you know, that it gives them their wings, Steve. I think that's what they've been missing. You need the confidence of winning, know you're a champion, settle it all down, and they have an opportunity to do something that my group never did. You know, got to a Champions League final, was around that group as a coach. They can go one better now and do it. So that's a massive incentive for them.
Martin and I first met when he was still playing for Arsenal, but I got to know him well in Tuesday production meetings in the Football Focus office when Steve Bolton was the editor. You've been a mainstay of the programme for many years, Martin. Sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is sad. I remember those days coming out of the game, you know, didn't have those journalistic skills, trying to work out, Motti sitting in meetings, Garth was there as well. You guys, you know, trying to give us direction. We cared so much about the programme. You know, I know Alex has been excellent on it. It's a big day. It was a programme for me. It got under the skin of the football world. You'd suddenly see a young lad who wanted to be a professional footballer. What can I see behind the scenes? It was brilliant. You know, even Billy Bremner in his bedroom the morning of a cup final, wasn't it? You know, see how he's behaving, seeing the training sessions, the interviews, anything insightful to make me think, okay, what do they do behind the scenes? It just seems so normal, all of the players, whereas on a match day they were in their kits and it seemed like something you could never reach. So I thank Football Focus for that insight, and it was a groundbreaking programme.
And I'm very proud during the COVID time in the pandemic of doing the goals from home thing, where we invited people to recreate goals in their back gardens with their kids and send them in, and I commentate on them. And that was an idea I pitched to Football Focus, which my wife had, so thank you for that. And Martin, enjoy the afternoon, enjoy the sunshine. It's been a pleasure over all these years. And Alex, for the last time, back to you in the Focus studio.
Steve, thank you very much. And Martin, you had to be there to enjoy those celebrations. But Garth, look at these stats, because for you, where have you been most impressed with Arsenal this season?
Well, I'm going to pick up where Martin left off about Declan Rice. First and foremost, He's my Footballer of the Year. I think he's been immense. Has he played, 36 of the 38 games? He may not have had those many assists, but by goodness, he's been central to everything Arsenal Football Club have done this season. You take him out, you've taken a main pillar of everything Arsenal is out of the equation. To invest £105 million in a midfield player tells you all you need to know about Arsenal's intent. They wanted that title. They've now got it. I don't begrudge them. They've earned it. They've earned this title, and good luck to them. I think Arteta has grown as a manager. He wasn't the hysterical individual on the touchline when he first arrived at the club. He's now a calm, thoughtful, measured guy. And the club have stuck with him under immense pressure. Under immense pressure. Again, credit to the boardroom. They'd have been under enormous pressure. Second again, before you got the prize. So all credit to you. I've taken an enormous amount of stick over it. But I'm going to have to live with it, I'm afraid.
I'm not going to give you any today.
I'm very grateful.
In terms of them today at Crystal Palace, just a quick one on that, but do they need to win today to carry that momentum into next week?
Well, if...
Not that they need to, but in terms of mentality.
But if Arsenal have got anything about them, they want to finish the season like champions. Go out there, the pressure's off, go and play, enjoy it, and win. Certainly don't lose, come off as champions and lift the trophy, and that's when the celebration starts.
Yeah, well, I actually popped down to the Arsenal training ground earlier this week and spoke to an emotional Abera Eza, and here's what he had to say. How does it feel? Premier League champion.
Yeah, mad. I ain't got the words for it, man. I can only enjoy it as much as I can because this is, it's a special time.
Go on then, I want to take you back. This photo, right here.
My dad not even looking at the camera, man.
If you could speak to your younger self right now, knowing what you know, what would you say?
I actually don't know what I would say, It's all going to be all right. It's all going to be all right, bro. This is mad.
What was the dream then?
Just playing for Arsenal was enough. That was it. You go to school and you're the guy that plays for Arsenal, and it's that part of you. So to have like a full circle moment and to be, oh man, I actually don't know. Oi, this is nuts, I haven't sat down and looked at this picture properly. Oh my days. For me to experience such mad moments along the journey, yeah, man, all I can do is thank God, because I know it's more real than anything.
You can catch more of those interviews next week as Arsenal will attempt to complete the best season in their history on Saturday. Can they do it? Well, you can listen to live commentary of PSG taking on Arsenal from Budapest on Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds. And of course, you can watch highlights on BBC One at 10:20. Well, in fact, Premier League clubs could win all 3 European tournaments. A huge congratulations to Aston Villa on winning the Europa League final on Wednesday night. Yes, they beat Freiburg 3-0 in Istanbul. It was Villa's first trophy in 30 years and the 5th time that Unai Emery has won this competition. Absolute sins. Well, next up, it's Crystal Palace who take on Rayo Vallecano in the Europa Conference League final on Wednesday, which is happening in Leipzig. So today, it's goodbye to Football Focus, it's goodbye to Pep, and at Anfield, it's goodbye to Mo Salah and also Andy Robertson. Well, he sat down this week with the father and daughter combo of Kenny Dalglish and Kelly Cates.
How are you? Good?
Yeah.
Have you thought about Sunday yet?
Yeah, I've thought about it a lot this week, obviously, trying to arrange all my family to come down, my friends. One last hurrah at Anfield. What a 9 years it's been. I'm closing the chapter of me playing for Liverpool and I'm just trying to, I suppose, enjoy every last minute of it.
Why do you think Andy made it? Why do you think he's one of the 1%?
I mean, it was a slow start. It'd have been easier. No. Starting at Queen's Park, then you move up. But it would have been easy for somebody, and a lot of people who didn't have the determination to say, can't be bothered. You did it. I think you fitted the bill perfectly, and you can see that with your winners' medals.
Tell me about this season, how much the death of Diogo Jota, your friend as well as your teammate, affected you.
You know, we have the high of lifting the trophy. You have a party after it, all your friends are there, all your family's there, all the kids are running about the pitch and playing football, and to then the next time when you see the lads, you're on a plane to go to one of your mates' funerals, it's pure devastation, pure worry as well for, you know, his family, his wife, his kids and things like that, and that is one thing. But then obviously when we then come back into football, where's our head at, where's our motivation at? Football didn't matter, none of us cared about football. We started the season well in terms of 5 wins out of 5.
TK trying to bundle through, and he has, and he scores!
But we weren't playing well, and you know the feeling was still very strange. We have let ourselves down this season, and we're not hiding away from that fact. I hope now we can finish it on a small positive of qualifying for the Champions League.
Going forward into next season, it's going to look like a very different Liverpool team. You're going, Mohamed Salah is going, that Champions League and Premier League title-winning team over a couple of seasons, that's almost gone now.
Look, that's what happens at football clubs. You know, everyone would have went through it. You'd have went through it as a player and a manager. You have this kind of golden generation or whatever that brings this success, and then it's about trying to get the next one. And the players we signed this summer was clear they were all younger. You know, they all had the potential to be the best, similar to what Salah, Robertson, Van Dijk and all that were in 2017-18. Next season the club need to get back to being consistent, being at 100% every single game, and I really do believe that can bring success back to Liverpool.
It's important to remember that, yes, you're leaving Liverpool, you're not retiring, there is more to come from you.
The best way I can put it is probably, you know, the biggest chapter of my book is closing, but it's not the ending. I'm still 32, you know, I'm very lucky that I'm still young enough. I know there's a lot more to come, and I know there's still a lot more for me to achieve in my career.
And now it's Robertson, Andy Robertson, 2-0!
You've achieved, you've done yourself proud, you did Liverpool Football Club proud, you did Scotland proud. Me, man, wherever you go next.
I appreciate that.
All the very best.
I appreciate that.
Oh, what a player he's been. There's much more from that interview available right now over on the iPlayer. Well, it's less than 3 weeks until England and Scotland are in North America for the World Cup. Both named their squads this week. Thomas Tuchel spoke to the BBC's Dan Rowan about his selection.
We are trying to select and build the best team possible. That means maybe not necessarily to just collect the 26 most talented players. If you have to select from a strong group of 55 players, 26, it just comes that you leave big names out and talented players out who deserve also to be with us, but the decisions had to be made. We got 26 very committed players who know their role, who are committed to their role on and off the pitch.
When Harry Maguire said that he was shocked and gutted, were you disappointed in that reaction?
It was not necessary to make it public. I knew about the reaction, I knew about his feelings about it, but the decision was not a personal one. It is a decision for the 4 central defenders that were outstanding for us. And there were very difficult phone calls, but it is also about how to handle disappointment. We cannot start every player in every match. I don't want to take a gamble on it and find out in tournament that someone struggles with it. So I'm very, very sure, because this majority of the team was with us in September, October, November, and that's why we selected him.
Well, let's bring in another Focus favourite right now. Hello to esteemed journalist Henry Winter, who Garth knows well from their days covering England. Actually, Garth, Henry, when we told Henry that, you know, he's going to be on Football Focus with you, he said, wait, is this Football Focus or Antiques Roadshow?
Oh, no. I expect better of you, Henry, than that.
It's been more Antiques Roadshow with Garth. Nice to see you, two of you.
Henry, what can we say? There's always surprises, but Henderson, Tooney, Spence, I mean, it can go on and on. Were we expecting this many from Thomas Tuchel?
Well, the history of England squad announcements is often, the omissions. You go back to Gaza in '98, Garth will have covered that. You look at McManaman, who just won the Champions League in 2002, Jermaine Defoe in 2006. So, look, in the media, we often reflect on the omissions. But absolutely, I mean, the pictures that you showed there of Trent Alexander-Arnold, we knew he wouldn't be in. But, if there's an injury to Reece James, I mean, Tino Livramento's in there as well. Jed Spence can play at right back as well. But you just think, and Tuchel talked about it to Dan and to others, that he wants players who also have these strengths, these specialisms, he called them. And what could be more specialised than being able to take a penalty, as Trent Alexander can and has shown with England, and Harry Maguire can as well. So for me, the two surprises were Burnin ahead of Maguire and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Well, not a surprise, but just a disappointment because he's one of our few world-class talents.
Henry, were you surprised about Trent being left out, bearing in mind he's a player that plays for Real Madrid? It's highly unusual for a player of that calibre to left out of the international team.
It's a really good point. And talking to some of our overseas colleagues, Garth, they are bemused. They're saying, well, how can Trent Alexander-Arnold not be amongst the 23 best outfield players that England have got to call upon? I mean, that ability that he has. But Tuchel has been quite consistent about Trent Alexander-Arnold. He talks about his profile, by which he means he has issues with him out of possession. Remember the Champions League final, getting caught out by Vinicius Junior of Real Madrid when Alexander-Arnold was at Liverpool. But look, I'm not expecting him to start, but I think if you're looking at a player and we're thinking about the player playing in that heat, I was there in '94 and it was exhausting opening a laptop, let alone running around for 90 minutes, 120 minutes. The fact that Trent Alexander-Arnold could come on with 10 minutes to go with England trailing in a knockout game and provide a sort of 70-yard Hail Mary pass to Harry Kane or Marcus Rashford or to Bukayo Saka. Or a set piece, absolutely. And our old friends' penalties. England will probably have to negotiate one shootout and Trent Alexander-Arnold can take a penalty, as can Harry Maguire.
Henry, I want to ask you, because when you look at this squad, and it's been really interesting hearing Thomas Tuchel speak about the emphasis on a team, that when you're thinking about the 1 to maybe, 15, 16, it's the ones after that he's really focusing on being actual team players and good around the camp and keeping that energy going.
Yeah, I mean, it's why Jordan Henderson's in there, and Tuchel's often referenced with Jordan Henderson when we've sort of raised the question, why is Jordan Henderson in there's not even starting for Brentford at the moment, is that he is a leader and he drives standards in training. Now, you would hope if you're representing England that they would all drive themselves. They would automatically, instinctively have that in them. But it's not simply about being a good tourist. These have got to be good players to come on, because we're going to see a lot of rotation in this tournament because of the heat, because of the extra game. And let's hope England go far into it. But look, with these omissions, there is one positive in all this. It shows the strength and depth that England now have, that quality players, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, individuals like that, Morgan Gibbs-White, who's had a great end to the season, are being left out. And that's a credit to the Premier League and the Football Association and the EFL and all the academies and grassroots clubs that have been developing this talent.
Yeah, great point, Henry. Don't go anywhere. Please stay with us. We're going to talk about Hull now, because they are coming back to the Premier League after a 9-year absence. Middlesbrough had replaced Southampton in the playoff final after the Spygate story, but Borough lost at Hull at Wembley, I should say, yesterday, thanks to a 95th minute winner from Ollie McBurney. Cue the Hull celebrations.
The referee blows his whistle and Hull City are back in the Premier League. Wow.
Fans are unbelievable at Wembley. Doesn't get any better. Premier League.
See you in the Premier League.
God, we win. Days like today, they don't come around very often, and you've got to try and embrace it. Good things happen to good people, and today you saw that out there.
Very, very high emotion, and also very happy and proud of everyone in the club.
I'm on top of the world.
We are Premier League, yeah, we are Premier League.
You think the world's there? I'm even above it.
From what we've been through this season, embargo, everything, everyone's doubted us, and we've done it, and I'm just so happy.
That squad there, they deserve to have more than I do tonight.
Oh, Henry, it is a great story, isn't it? With everything that Hull have had to deal with, when the fan just said there about the transfer embargo, the off-field drama surrounding Southampton's Spygate, it's a remarkable promotion.
Yeah, be able to go out and afford a new shirt now. I mean, it is a great story. I mean, the seriousness, obviously, about Spygate, but from Hull's perspective, they didn't know who they were going to prepare for. You know, whether it was going to be Middlesbrough or Southampton. So that was a complication for them. There's also a complication for their fans in terms of what time the kickoff was going to be, you know, the trains back and all issues like that. So, yeah, a fantastic day for them. And probably a relief for the EFL, because if Middlesbrough have gone up, I think this one would have rumbled even on.
Henry, what do you think happens now then with the whole Spygate situation?
Well, it's now down to the Football Association and the charges that you assume that they will bring fairly swiftly against Ton Eckert, the head coach at Southampton. And I hope that Southampton themselves take a grip of this situation because, look, we've all spent time at St Mary's and the Dell before that. We know that they are essentially a good club. And we've seen how their fans have been at Wembley down the years. We've seen the players that they've developed, the type of football that they've played. You know, they've always been, you know, the community work they do. They're a very sort of respected club, but just sort of the behaviour of 2 or 3 individuals within the club have brought shame on the whole club. So I hope for the fans' benefit that the club take action, and if that means, you know, removing the head coach soon and rebuilding the club and the culture, then I hope they do it swiftly.
Henry, thank you so much. We know, obviously, you've been a long-time viewer of Focus. Can we ask you for your favourite moment, please?
Well, quickly, I mean, Football Focus has been the golden thread in the tapestry running through match day. I mean, so many moments, Cloughy and Motti, Gaza, fishing. But for me, the insight that Alan Shearer brought in that interview with Erling Haaland, I just thought, as a football fan, as a journalist, I found it totally enlightening. So thanks for the memories.
Thank you so much for being with us on our last Football Focus. We appreciate it. Well, earlier in the week, we asked you to vote for your favourite moment from the Focus archives. In Goal of the Month style, here are the results. In third place with 11% of the vote, it's Paul Gascoigne's fishing trip. Alistair McGowan standing in for Loro comes second with 12%. And the winner with a huge 57% of the viewers' vote, it is, of course, John Motson's interview with the then manager of First Division champions Nottingham Forest. Of course, it's Brian Clough.
Well, Brian, nice to talk to you for the first time on the BBC this season. I'd love to ask you, first of all, how you feel the season's going, both from the point of view of Nottingham Forest, Brian Clough and football generally.
There's a lot of questions all in one there, John. Sound of your voice, you're just about getting them out as well. The football is going very well for Nottingham Forest. I've had my ups and downs, but generally the club's in good health.
English football generally now this season?
I think we find football too much on television. You and your colleagues are turning us off from family entertainment on a Saturday night by lecturing us at the moment.
Could you enlarge on that?
I'd love to. We used to sit down or look forward to it in comfort on a Saturday. I think you're becoming too deep. I think you're setting yourselves up as judge and jury. I think you've gone over the dividing line where you have a contribution to make to one of being dogmatic, overbearing, boring, and you can keep going.
But Brian, after a match is over, I mean, fans and so on, they go in the pub and they talk about things that have happened. Now, surely our job is to report that as fairly as we can.
I think there's a difference between talking about it and discussing it with your mates and arguing about it in a pub than being lectured in your own home, in your own armchair, about what you should be seeing and what you should be thinking and da-di-da-di-da.
But when you used to work for us, Brian, and you were on television, as you say, in a panellist capacity, I mean, you used to talk about games afterwards and voice an opinion and have your say.
As a critic.
Critically sometimes.
Far more qualified than you or any of your colleagues. Where we used to look forward to going home and sitting in an armchair watching a bit of football and being entertained, we're now, talking purely as a layman, a guy who, you know, pays your wages through my television fee, we're now not going home and enjoying it. We're not seeing as much football as we should, and we're getting too much of that, and I suggest you shut up and show more football. Now, if that's not in a nutshell, I don't know what is.
God, classic.
Wow. I haven't seen that for years, and I have to say, if Brian Clough was alive today, what would he be thinking? The football and the punditry and the opinions. I mean, people who haven't even played football at any level have opinions. All are welcome as far as I'm concerned, but Sir Brian, I think he'd have a very different view.
And the da-di-da-di-da.
And the da-di-da-di-da. I don't know what that meant, but very entertaining.
Oh, gosh. Well, at the top of this final show, you saw some familiar faces. So here they are again with their reflections on their time spent on Football Focus.
Well, I do remember the day when I got my words a little bit mixed up, which is, you're doing it off the top of the head. And I was supposed to say that we just heard that Joe Jordan had just passed a late fitness test. And instead, I looked at the camera and I said, well, we've just got some news in. We've just heard that Joe Jordan has just pissed a late fatness test.
Loro had to miss the programme 1 week because he was ill. And somebody, probably me, decided it'd be a good idea to ask the actor and impressionist Alistair McGowan, who did a great Loro, to appear in character. Alistair arrived, did Loro for the last 15 minutes of the programme and was absolutely terrific.
United are the better team, end of story.
The moment the programme ended, the phone goes and it's Motti. He gave his regular critique of the programme immediately. Loro was talking nonsense, and I tell you what, he doesn't look well.
The one show I think that really stands out for me was our programme that we made in Afghanistan. I love the fact that we dreamed big. Can we take the show to Camp Bastion and do it from there? And we did. And I will always look back on that as one of the best things I've ever been involved in.
We had this thing where we'd have a beer after the programme, only one. This guy was approaching to us. It was Tom Jones. Anyway, as we got towards him, we went, hello boys, how are you doing? And we went, oh, all right. He said, how did Swansea go on? I said, they got beat 2-1. He went, not unusual.
My favourite memory presenting Football Focus includes having the then England coach Sven-Göran Eriksson in the studio. Shortly after, England had suffered a shock defeat to Northern Ireland in a World Cup qualifier. We also had Laurie Sanchez in that day as well on the show as the Northern Ireland head coach, and Sven didn't know that, so when he first arrived and saw Laurie, he took me to one side. He said, Manish,
he's coming? He's here. Very good.
Did nobody tell you? And Sven was like, no.
And you get these letters and people like saying, oh, that shirt you wore last week. I had a spell of wearing mad shirts.
My favourite came in from Peter the Cheetah, who says, it's like a magic eye shirt. If you look at it long enough, I'm sure I can see a dolphin.
Part of the magic of the show has always been the title, because that's what we did. We looked back, we looked forward, we talked about what had happened, we talked about the future, and we tried simply to focus on the football.
After my footballing career, I never really thought that I would be able to spend the amount of time bringing to people the stories of the week, all the latest news, the latest great players, the youngsters. There was so much involved in it, and incredible memories from day one to the very last day.
What a great remark from a great presenter, the very, very first. And it gives me an opportunity to, on behalf of the entire Football Focus family, not just the team, the family, to present this to you, which is a picture of you and Bob, the very first Football Focus presenter with the last, signed by Bob. So that is to you from the Football Focus family. Well done. I think you need to show the viewers. Fantastic. 7 years. Have you enjoyed it?
Well, that's got me.
It's been...
Alex, congratulations.
It's a fun programme to do.
All you have achieved.
It's a fun programme to do, and you've stepped in the shoes of some great broadcasters. So well done, you.
And thank you, Garth.
Not at all, my pleasure. Well done.
Ooh, for 52 years, wow. This show has done one thing. Week in, week out, it's brought football into your Saturday afternoons. Whether it was Bob Wilson in 1974 or any of the brilliant people who sat in this chair after him, the thing that never changed was you, the fans. You were always there. I won't pretend this isn't hard, as you can see. But what I know is the football doesn't stop. The stories don't stop, the goals, the drama, the heartbreak, the magic, none of that stop. It just finds a new home. So from everyone who has ever worked on Football Focus, the presenters, the producers, the cameras, the crews, the pundits, everyone, thank you. Thank you for making Saturday lunchtime something to look forward to. It's been an honour. This is Football Focus for the very last time, and before we enjoy one last trip down memory lane, Bob, I would love for you to have the last word.
Alex, thank you so much. All good things come to an end. Thank you to all of you at home for watching Football Focus for the last 52 years. We've had a ball.
Okay, stand by guys, we are recording.
Okay boys. Good of you to come on and join us.
Alan Shearer, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Thanks for your patience. No stress. If you're happy, it's good.
Is it too late to back out of this show?
You're looking to watch already, mate.
Come on, Leo. An Old Trafford favourite is our guest.
Welcome to the show.
I want to play as long as I can.
Is he actually better at 18 than you were?
No.
What would keep you up here in the northeast?
Bigger fish.
It's the World Cup, Bob. It's the start of the World Cup campaign, and I'm the manager of the England side.
The manager's job is to try to get it right.
There's no reason in the world why we can't give the rest of the world a good run for their money.
I used to be Big Frank, but now he's Big Frank and I'm Little Frank.
I don't know of any other bloke in the game that could replace me except Alec.
I'm sure we'll do very well.
To accuse me of faking an injury is the biggest insult I could accept. That's what's happened, do you not remember?
Well, I remember the incident, yeah.
Come on, let's get real.
We're getting too much of that, and I suggest you shut up and show more football.
Get straight in them! Every single one of you!
Good work out, Bob, but not quite up to what we want for Saturday.
I believe we did pave the way, but it's not for us to say that.
Harry, I'm saying you did.
They went to play a football game and they didn't come home.
The whole programme comes live from Bradford today, 25 years after the tragic fire.
If Gary had spoken to somebody that night, I think he'd still be here. I think that's the hard thing.
The scars will never ever be healed, and the fans will never ever forget it.
When you're playing in a team that clicks and you get the momentum, you know it's magic.
Wimbledon FC report for duty in Cup Week.
It's usual brand of quiz, love.
For Mark Hateley, there's still nothing like a bag of chips.
Cafe Americano, special one. That's my favourite one.
You've either got it or you haven't.
Three man, Didier. What do you think of that, Bob?
People suggest television replays could be incorporated. It just wouldn't work.
Stone Roses.
No.
Oasis.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a little bit of nerves, especially. Hello? Pep, I'm retired.
What he's done since he's been back there is nothing short of incredible.
While we sort the alarm out, Martin gets his hose out.
Football Focus is live from Wembley.
Welcome to Wallsend Boys Club.
Home of Chesham United.
Ilkeston Town.
Alve Church.
The Harrier Arms.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's been an absolute privilege for us to be at Camp Bastion over the last few days.
BBC, Homes Under the Hammer.
I don't regard myself as a hard man, no.
Great, we've got a contender for you.
How are you, pal? You all right, mate? Good stuff, mate. Yeah, not bad.
Just want to push on and take my career just as far as it can possibly go.
Only later in my career it really dawned on me that I'm gay.
I got picked for England. A letter came through the post. And it said, if you ever got on this Wembley pitch, you'll get one of these for your knees. It was a bullet. And I thought, right, they're not going to stop me.
Oh, and what a great shot! Cyril Regis.
Welcome to the first ever Football Focus from my house. This is the new normal.
Keep it light, keep it snappy, keep it focused.
From me to you. What do you go? To me, to you.
Corky's easy sort of.
Could you pick me up if you needed to now?
Hell yes.
This bone here is a metatarsal. Isn't that right, Mark?
A bet is a bet.
At the moment, the team's playing well. Quietly going.
That is a disgrace. Look at the state of that.
All right, we're off then, are we?
You're off.
Okay.
An iconic show is no longer here.
Is there anything in your career you would like to do differently?
Not really, just start all over again.
I'm gone already.
We've had a nice little community. We did it the proper way. and it meant more to us.
Let's make it iconic. The FIFA World Cup 2026, live across the BBC.
It's Premier League football final day. The pressure is on for Tottenham at home to Everton. Listen to the commentary on Sounds at 4. And in the Netball Super League, London Pulse take on the LexisNexis Dragons. Coverage this afternoon at 4:45 on iPlayer. Good afternoon from BBC One Northern Ireland. Now at 1 o'clock, the BBC News with Martin Croxall.
Good afternoon. A government minister says 2 girls raped in Hampshire by 3 teenage boys who were spared jail deserve justice. He was speaking after one of the girls told the BBC that the judge's decision was like a rock straight in my face. The boys were given youth rehabilitation orders at Southampton Crown Court last week. The Attorney General is to review the sentences. The girl, who was interviewed by Laura Koonsberg alongside her family, had a private meeting with the Chief Secretary to the Prime Minister, Darren Jones, and also separately with Reform UK politician Robert Jenrick following this morning's programme. Shelley Phelps reports.